The country has started a nationwide crackdown on undocumented migrants living in the country, and dozens of Afghans have been detained at holding centers ahead of their deportation from the country. According to Pakistani authorities, over 165,000 Afghans have left the country ever since the expiry of the November 1 expulsion deadline of the government. Another country's busiest border point at Torkham in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa province, officials worked into the early hours of the morning to clear a queue of 28,000 people. 28,000 people that stretched 7 kilometers. And since then, the border traffic has eased, with officials encouraging undocumented Afghans to continue leaving voluntarily, even as the police conducted search operations. According to the Provincial Home Department, just over 129,000 left the Khyber Pakhtunkhwa province, while 38,100 have crossed through Chaman in Balochistan. Authorities on the Afghan side have been overwhelmed by the scale of the exodus as they attempt to process the papers of the returnees. Meanwhile, Pakistan police are also arresting the undocumented Afghans staying back in the country for detention and deportation.
अब जो आज हमने जब कार्रवाई स्टार्ट की तो जिनका डाटा हमने इकट्ठा किया था तो हमने देखा बहुत सारे लोग मैक्सिमम जा चुके हैं, उनके घर खाली। जो लोग रह गए, जैसे आज हमने 450 लोगों को आज किया है, इसी तरह नेक्स्ट डे हम अपनी कार्रवाई करेंगे और 13,759 कंप्लीट करेंगे। ये हमारा फेज़ 1 है।
Relatives of some of the Afghans picked by the Pakistani police complained that they were arrested arbitrarily despite having valid documents and registration cards.
Question the car था सर ओरिजिनल, इसका 2 बच्चे निजाम चौक में उसने पकड़ा है बिजली घर ताड़ने वाले ने। एक 15 साल है, एक 16 साल है। हम ताड़ने पे गया, ताड़ने वाले नहीं छोड़ा है, पुलिस वाले मनमानी कर रहा है, बस उसका मर्जी है। जो आदमी उसको नजर में गया उसको पकड़ता है, उठाता है।
इवन इन लोगों ने जो अंडर 8 बच्चे जो बेफार्म होल्डर है उनको भी लेके आए, बेफार्म वाले को भी लेके आए और पीओसी कार्ड वाले को भी लेके आए, एसीसी कार्ड वाले को भी लेके आए। मेरी डीएसपी से बात हुई, 2 डीएसपी से, मैंने कहा ये तो वैलिड कार्ड है, ये इंटीरियर मिनिस्टर ने ये डिक्लेयर किया है कि जो पीओसी कार्ड होल्डर है, एसीसी कार्ड होल्डर है, उनको कुछ नहीं किया जाएगा। उसके बावजूद लोगों को बेजा तंग कर रहे हैं।
Let's go back across now to our correspondent Anas Malik, who has been tracking those developments very closely. Anas, there are several questions that have been raised as far as this entire process is concerned. Tell us more about what the Afghans on the ground are sharing with you at this point and what the Pakistani authorities have had to say.
Well, last bit first, the Pakistani authorities say that they're trying their level best to make sure that there is no unjustness in this process. In the past 24 hours, we've seen that 17,118 Afghan nationals, those who were allegedly illegally residing in the country, have quote-unquote voluntarily repatriated. That takes the tally of those having voluntarily repatriated, that takes the tally to about 143,135. That is the total of number of people who have voluntarily repatriated as of yesterday. Now, what we also know is that the government has established a helpline number that says that in case of any problems, people can reach out there and they can register their problems. But the reports that have come out are harrowing. There are people who are out there in Torkham. They don't have access to basic utilities. There is no shelter. There is no food. There are no washrooms that are available. And people are just there, lying there, waiting for their turn to come and to be processed for the exit. Molly?
Right. Thanks very much, Anas, for the moment. But of course, coming back to you as and when you have further updates. WION now available in your country. Download the app now. Get all the updates on the move.